Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, hello boys and girls, happy Friday. Today is Friday, April 23rd, and I know that most of you are used to seeing me coming to you with these videos from my home. And here you guys can see that today I'm not at my house, instead I'm here in the classroom. And the reason is that on Monday, you guys know that all students are going to be coming back to school. So it's going to be like the first day of school all over again. And we're only going to have a very small handful of students who are virtual students. So I am going to be no longer recording videos from home. Instead, what I'm going to be doing is I will be recording our live videos here in class once again, since all of the students are going to be here in the classroom. Now, I know that that presents itself with some different challenges. For example, on the board behind me, I know that you guys can't see the board right now because of the way that the camera reflects the light. But if I go like this, there you go. You can see the board again. And if I come back, the board goes into a way where the camera focuses on me and you can no longer see the board behind me. So I do know that there's going to be some challenges. It's going to be different. But for the small handful of students that are going to be completely virtual, you guys should be able to join us for the live class. And if you can't, there will still be a video made available to you of the class here. But it takes an exceptional amount of time to make those videos in the evenings. And so for that reason, I'm going to be making sure that I'm doing the videos here in class so I can maximize my time with the students here during the day. All right, so with that said, I don't want to waste any of your time here today. This is my last pre-recorded video. So one of the things that you guys are going to see that's going to be different is you're used to seeing that the video lesson is up there the morning of the lesson. So if I was to scroll down into my blog, you would normally see the lesson posted before the table of contents. That will no longer be the case. You guys will have to wait until the afternoon since I'm going to be recording the live class here. The videos are not going to be pre-recorded. They won't be available to you first thing in the morning. You're going to have to wait until a little bit later in the afternoon for those videos to get posted. So the best thing that you guys can do for the virtual students, and again, I believe there's only 4 or 5 students in the entire 6th grade that is going to be completely virtual. Everybody else will be here in class. For those few students, I encourage you, make sure you just get online and join the live class. We might be able to move to a place where we no longer have to do video lessons at all if all of the virtual students are regularly attending our class, and that would be the best option for everyone. So with that said, I do want to take some time, and I want to take you through this last pre-recorded video for Friday, April 23rd, and let's go ahead and just jump straight in. You'll see me come into the video and then out of the video so you guys can see the actual whiteboard behind me. All right. So, and the other thing that will be helpful to you, especially if you can do a split screen, is you can watch the video on one side of your screen, and on the other side of the screen, you can go ahead and be looking along at the blog. Okay, so what you would have to do to make that happen, so you have 2 split screens, is I could just grab one side of my screen and drag this over. Okay, so that's filling up one side of the screen, and then I could just open up a new tab and grab that tab and bring it over here. And so now you guys would be able to follow along on the blog on one side while you watch the video on the other side. All right, that would be the best option for you guys if you are home watching the videos. All right, for me, I'm going to go with the full screen here, and we're going to go ahead and jump right in. As I said, today is Friday, April 23rd. Today we are going to be reading, we're going to be writing about Harry Potter Chapter 13. So your assignments today, as you guys know on writing days, we always have 2 assignments. Okay? The first assignment you can see on the board is to finish Chapter 13 quiz, and then the second one is to write your summary of Chapter 13 and upload a clear picture of it, which you guys will do on page 68 of your notebook. Take a moment, pause the video if you need to, write those assignments down. now that you have those assignments written down, I'm going to scroll through our table of contents, and you can see right here is page 68. That's where your Chapter 13 summary is going to go. Before we do that, we always have discussion questions. And once again, I reinforce this idea that in the videos, it's really hard for you and I to interact together to have a discussion. So please join the live stream. If you can't join the live stream and you have to watch the video, take some time to read through these discussion questions and think about these questions and think about how you might answer them. Okay, so for the purposes of helping you guys, I'll just go ahead and read through these so you guys know what they are. First one is for chapter 13 here is, what do Harry and Ron find in Myrtle's bathroom? You should be able to tell us what they find, which is Tom Riddle's diary. What does who does the item belong to? I just told you, belongs to Tom Riddle. How does Lockhart plan to celebrate Valentine's Day? You guys should be able to explain that because that plays an important role in Harry learning how to work the diary. Who sends Harry a Valentine? And the chapter doesn't come out and explicitly tell you, but based off of the way that characters are acting, we know who the person was that sent Harry a Valentine. How does Harry figure out how to work the diary? You really want to make sure that you can put in all of the details about how Harry figures out how to work the diary, which includes Harry's books spilling, the ink spilling over Harry's books, and when Harry picks up his books, he notices that there's ink all over all of his books, except for one book, which is the diary. Although ink was spilled all over the diary, there is no ink to be found. And then that's when Harry gets the idea that, maybe there's somehow disappearing ink, and he writes in the diary, and he sees the words that he writes disappears. And then the diary writes back to Harry. Okay, you definitely want to be able to articulate all of that in full detail. What does Harry learn from T.M. Riddle when he uses the diary? So in this chapter, Harry goes into the diary. Tom Riddle takes him into his memory, and Harry learns some really important things. I don't want to reveal them now to you because I want to make sure that you guys have read the chapter, or you go back and watch the last video where we read the chapter together. What is the creature that was thought to be the monster from the Chamber of Secrets? So Harry actually gets an opportunity to see the monster. Okay, when he goes into the diary, he's able to see the monster from 50 years ago. And so the question is, what is the creature that was thought to be the monster from the Chamber of Secrets? The second to last question is, who opened the Chamber of Secrets 50 years ago? Harry learns who opens the chamber. And then the last question, if you were Harry, how would you react to the news about Hagrid? This last question is a really good question when you go to write your summary for you guys to use as a reflection kind of question. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, you guys know that the first thing we always do after we discuss the chapter is we dive into the quiz. You guys know that we need to read each question and answer it in a complete sentence. You must answer in fully developed complete sentences. Some people are still not doing that, and it's really bothersome because I've gone over these directions in every single chapter. And in every single chapter, I've guided you through how to start your answers, how to make sure that they're fully developed, how to use words from the question, how to make sure that you're using proper nouns and not proper pronouns. And so if we're on chapter 13 and we're still not doing these things, it tells me a couple of things. One, you might not be watching the videos. Two, you're not joining the live stream. Three, if you're watching the videos or joining the live stream, you're just not bothering to follow the directions. So this shows a lack of effort on our part. Again, especially since I talk you through and I literally write out answers to these questions with you guys. All right, so we're well into the second half of the book. Again, this is another reason why some of these video lessons are going to be changing, because you guys should not need as much support now to answer these questions. You guys have already been given a lot of support and a lot of teaching and a lot of direction and a lot of guidance as to how we answer in fully developed complete sentences. And so now is the time where you really should be showing that you've got this skill down. You understand how to read a question, answer a question in a fully developed complete answer in a complete sentence, and that you're ready to be going on to 7th grade. Here we are. It is the very end of April. We're almost into May. Believe it or not, that means we got 2 months left, May and June. That is it. All right, and you guys will be done with your 6th grade instruction. So it's really important that we make sure that you guys are ready for 7th grade. So right now, let's go ahead. You guys know we can access this quiz by going over to our Google Classroom. And again, I know the glare is bad, but I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to give you guys the directions to open up your Chapter 13 quiz. It is called The Very Secret Diary. So we click on that quiz. We open it up. And here what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide out of the screen so you guys can read the board behind me. And just by doing that, hopefully you guys can see the board a little bit better. So as I talk you guys through this, always remember to start with your name, your first name and your last name using capitals. Take a moment, put your name. Okay, question number 1 says, what did Harry and Ron find in Moaning Myrtle's bathroom? All right, so how would we answer this question? Well, we would come on back here and we would be taking words right out of the question. Harry and Ron find, and we would put in what they found. They find blank in Moaning Myrtle's bathroom. So again, I would not use they find, okay? And let's just say, for the argument of example, let's say that they found a cauldron. All right, I would not say Harry and Ron found a cauldron. That's not a complete sentence. I would not say they found a cauldron. Okay, there's a couple of errors there. One, there's no period, there's no capital. This is a pronoun. All right, I should be able to make sense of your answer without ever having to read the question. So again, what do? We don't start with a pronoun. We start with the proper nouns. We start with Harry and Ron. Okay, and then we are specific. Okay, and I'm going to change found to find. I'm going to keep it in the present tense. Harry and Ron find, and then it's simply, what did they find? They find a blank. Now, I'm not done. I can't just say Harry and Ron find a. Okay, because I could say Harry and Ron find, again, I'll go back to using cauldron as my example, a cauldron. Where? It's in the question. Where do they find this? It's in Moaning Myrtle's bathroom. So Harry and Ron find blank in Moaning Myrtle's bathroom. Now, notice there's a capital M on Moaning and a capital M on Myrtle. This is a proper noun. We are naming this character. This character's name is Moaning Myrtle. So Moaning and Myrtle both need capitals. Harry needs a capital. Ron needs a capital. Now, the last thing, why did I put an apostrophe S here? Apostrophe S, okay, shows ownership. Some people are doing this when they write it. In Moaning Myrtle bathroom. It's not Moaning Myrtle bathroom. It's Moaning Myrtle's bathroom. And we use apostrophe S. We use apostrophe S to show ownership. This item belongs to Moaning Myrtle. What belongs to Moaning Myrtle? This bathroom. Now again, I know she doesn't physically own this bathroom, but this is her bathroom. Okay? It is Moaning Myrtle's bathroom. So you guys need to go ahead and type out your answer. What is it that Harry and Ron find in Moaning Myrtle's bathroom? Okay, this is where I have modeled exactly how to start your answer, how to end your answer, where to put your capitals, the necessity for punctuation, and now all you need to know is the detail. What is the detail that would fill in that blank? Question number 2 asks you this. How did Harry discover how to work the diary? And the question says, be specific. All right, so I'll get you started on this. How would we begin? and I would go back right up in here. Harry discovered how to work the diary, and then I would include the details. And here, I'm not going to say Harry discover that. I'm not going to say Harry discover how to work the diary. Okay? What do we need to do to the word discover? We need to change it to the ed ending, the past tense, because we're talking about this in the past tense. So it's not Harry discover how to work the diary. It's Harry discovered how to work the diary. And my next word would be this, when. And then I would fill it in. You guys probably would need a couple sentences here. All right, because there are several things that have to happen for Harry to discover how to work the diary. So I would have Harry discovered how to work the diary when, and then I would again have another sentence. Okay, I would probably do multiple sentences to answer this question. So right now, take a moment, pause the video if you need to, answer question number 2. All right, I will assume you've answered question number 2 and you're ready to go on. Question number 3 says, once Harry figured out how to work the diary, what did he learn? And again, this question asks you to be specific. So I'm going to take words right out of the question. We're going to use once Harry figured out how to work the diary. The diary, then what's going to be next? He learned blank. And you're going to fill that in with whatever it is he learned. And again, be specific. He learned many things, or at least several things. So make sure that you guys go back in and be specific. What did he learn? Okay, and this beginning part is very important. Once Harry figured out how to work the diary, he learned. All right? This is what we mean by fully developed. Okay? If I take this off and I just answer, he learned blank, all right, and I end with a period, yes, that is a complete sentence, and especially if I have a capital H on there, he learned blank. But here's the deal, it's not fully developed. Okay, this is one of those things where I'm beginning with a pronoun. So without the question, if I was to cover up the question here, and I don't have the question, and I just write he learned, one, I don't know what he is. And I don't know where or what Harry used to learn the information. You have to include once Harry figured out how to work the diary. That is imperative. Once Harry figured out how to work the diary, he learned blank. This provides you with the development that your question needs. Now, or your sentence needs. I no longer need the question. I could read your answer all on its own. I no longer need that highlighted stuff. Your answer stands on its own without the question as being a fully developed statement about the book. Once Harry figured out how to work the diary, he learned, and then you tell me what he learned. I no longer need the question to understand your answer because you have included everything in your answer. All right, ladies and gentlemen, take a moment and answer number 3. When you are done answering, when you're done answering the third question, make sure before you hit the submit button that you go back and you proofread your answers. All right, make sure that you proofread them. Go over them. Make sure that they have the capitals. Make sure they have periods. Make sure you use proper nouns before you use pronouns. All right, make sure that you spelled words correctly. Okay, Diary, Harry. A lot of people have been misspelling Hermione and Hagrid, these names. Dumbledore is a name that's commonly misspelled. Words in the question, words in our book should not be misspelled. Make sure you spell them correctly. All right, once you've done all that, hit the submit button, guys. And then, once you've hit the submit button, you can close out your quiz. And you can come on back to the blog. You're now ready to go on to the second activity, okay, which is the 45-second summary challenge. Or for the virtual students, again, it's just practicing your summaries. So, what you're going to do here, you guys know the directions by now. Our summaries, they need to include 3 things. The main idea. Again, people that are following along, people that are really practicing this, are getting much stronger at the main idea. I've really seen strength, and I've really seen you guys getting better at writing the main idea. The main idea is just challenging. That's why we do this with every chapter, all right? Not just 1 or 2 chapters. I don't expect you to get the main idea after just writing 1 or 2 summaries. It takes a lot of practice to get to the point where you can really get the main idea. I even showed in the last chapter where, let me actually show it to you right now. I know that, again, this can be challenging for you guys to see a bit, but it's not so important that you can read the words. It's important that you can see what I did. Okay? So I'm going to move out of the screen. So in that screen, you can see here in the top that this is my writing. This is my summary. And in my summary, we had it written for this is the last chapter. And it said, "It is now Christmas time at Hogwarts, but Harry worries more and more each day that he might be the heir of Slytherin and not even know it." And that is, that's a good, decent main idea. But ultimately, as I have read and reread that main idea, as I've been teaching you guys about main idea and understanding what's the big idea of the chapter, I am taking time to critically think about my own writing. And I'm thinking about that statement, and I'm saying, well, if it is the main idea, this entire chapter should be about Harry's worries that he's the heir. And I think to myself that, you know what, this chapter really wasn't all about Harry's worries. That really was just one detail. What is this chapter really about? What's the big idea of that chapter? And the big idea was, well, duh, it's called the Polyjuice Potion. This is the chapter where Harry, Ron, and Hermione finally enact their plan and they drink the Polyjuice Potion. Everything that happens before they drink it is leading up. So it's all the stuff that leads up to them drinking the Polyjuice Potion. So setting up that it's Christmas time, they finished the potion. Yes, they did some gifts, but it's all leading up to them drinking the potion. And then they drink the potion, and then everything else that happens afterwards is what is the result of them drinking the potion. But the big idea of the chapter, and I like to say to you guys is this way, is if you had to sum up the chapter in one sentence, what would that sentence be? That should be your main idea. So I go back in and I change my writing, and it now says, "It is now Christmas time at Hogwarts, and Harry, Ron, and Hermione finally drink the Polyjuice Potion." And that's really what the main idea of this chapter is all about. It's not about Harry's worries. That's a detail. So I use this again as an example to tell you it's important that we critically think about our own writing. This is a summary that we wrote a year or 2 ago, and then I've used with last year's 6th graders and the previous year's 6th graders. And so you can see it's never too late. Okay? So many people like to put their writing down on paper and then, I'm done. I'm done with my writing. This was written years ago. And even this piece of writing, I was able to go back, critically think about it, and make improvements to it. So I never want you guys to think that when you sit down and you put your pen to paper, you don't have to have perfection down. All right? It is okay to, what we're doing here is we're practicing. We are practice writing summaries. So you try things out, you can change things, you can edit things, you move things around. And again, you can see right here, I completely altered the second half of my sentence. All right, so it's important that you guys are critically thinking about your own writing in the same way. So those are the 3 things that you guys need. You guys need to have your main idea, your most important details, and your reflection. And we are getting better. And that's something that I have noticed over these last 12 chapters. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, Couple last directions for you guys, and these are on the blog. As you're working, these are questions that the teachers ask you guys, but again, these are questions that good writers would ask themselves as well about their own writing. And then last but not least, here you are expected to follow the rules of writing. So indenting your first sentence, all other lines getting lined up along the margin, words going on the lines, spaces in between your words, using proper capitalization and punctuation, making sure that spelling matters. Spelling does matter. There are many people that are very lazy when it comes to spelling, and they just spell things the way that they maybe sound. Meanwhile, these are words that are in our book, and we're not spelling them correctly. You should never, ever misspell a word that is in this book. Okay? All of the words are in your book. So make sure that you're taking the time to spell them correctly. And neatness matters. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you guys are ready to write your summary, the first thing that you will need to do, I'm going to go back to my document camera, is to set up your notes. Okay, at the top of the page, we need the title. It's Chapter 13 Summary. This is on page 68, and the date I'm going to add right now is April 23rd. Okay, so you need to have those three things on the top of your page before you begin your summary. And then you guys can go ahead and write your summary. Now, I'm not going to share my summary with you guys today. In fact, I'm going to pull it away there. But I am going to tell you that during these practice summaries, it's most important that you guys are just taking the time to make sure that you're writing for a full 15 minutes. Most of you guys have cell phones. You can very easily just set your timer on your cell phone to 15 minutes. If you go to our blog, you guys can go right here under the links, and you guys can go down. You can click on the timer, and then you guys can use this timer here. You simply set it to 15 minutes. You hit set, and then you can hit start. And you just go ahead, make sure that you write for a full solid 15 minutes. That's what I'm really looking for when it comes to these practices. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, after you're done with your summary, make sure you guys come back here to the blog. Make sure you click on Chapter 13 Summary and upload a clear picture of it. All right, so in closing, from here on out, again, you guys are going to have to wait till the afternoon to get these videos because I'm no longer going to be pre-recording them. But again, I encourage you guys to just join the live class. It'll be the best way for you to participate and really get engaged in those discussions. All right, so I look forward to seeing everybody on April 26th. I'm so excited for the first day of school again, part 2. So you guys have a great weekend, and I will see all of you right here in the classroom on Monday. Bye-bye.